The book of Matthew. If you look up on the screen, it says Matthew 5, verse 16. Matthew is in the very beginning of the New Testament, the very first book of the New Testament. And this is about Jesus, and it says, in the same way, Jesus says, in the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. The next reading, this is our second one, is from the book of Colossians. And it says, therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Bear with each other and forgive whatever grievances you may have against one another. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. And over all these virtues, put on love, which binds them all together in perfect unity. So today our message is called Kindness Matters. Shh, it really does. I'll say it again. Kindness matters. Shh, it really does. You want to say it with me? Try it with me. Kindness matters. Shh, it really does. One more time. Kindness matters. Shh, it really does. Good. I like how you guys even were crouching down like I was. I like that. Kindness does matter. But before we talk about that, I brought something in today. I brought in a tube of toothpaste. Do you think I should just stand up here the whole time and just brush my teeth? No, I'm not going to do that. I already did that this morning, and I hope maybe you did too. But anyway, I'm wondering if I could have a volunteer come up here and do something with my tube of toothpaste. Luke, do you want to come up here and help me? Okay, this is Luke. Wave to Luke. Hi, Luke. Luke, your job today is going to be to squeeze out toothpaste onto this plate that I have. And you can squeeze out as much as you want. You don't have to do the whole container of toothpaste, okay? You want to do that first? I got it loosened up for you. You can squeeze it right on there. Oh, man. Okay, that's probably good. That would be way too much toothpaste for your toothbrush, mind you, right? Okay, Luke, you're not going anywhere. Can you stay up here? Because I have something in my pocket. I have, a skewer. I have, these are things you keep in your pockets too, right? Yeah. A toothpick? And a popsicle stick. So what I want you to do, Luke, while I do a little bit of talking, we're going to talk about this apple up here too. While I do this talking, could you put all that toothpaste back into that tube for me? Okay, why don't you start working on that? Thank you, Luke. There you go. Perfect. Now Luke is busy. Ooh, wow, that got really loud. Luke is busy, and he's working. So now I have this apple, and some of you have already said, why do you have an apple up there? We want to eat that apple. In fact, Mrs. Larson has called dibs on the apple, right? No. So anyway, this apple looks, oh my gosh, I just dropped it. Hold on. Okay, apple is good. Doesn't it look delicious? Yeah, it's actually called a red, delicious apple. Oh my goodness. I keep dropping it, guys. I'm not very good with the apple. Let's see if I just shine it off. Oh my gosh, again. Okay. I'm going to get this apple up here on this cutting board, and we're going to be done. And what I'm going to do is I'll cut the apple. And Mrs. Larson, if you would like. Oh, you don't want it? No. Oh. Okay. Go ahead and put your hands down. Let's cut into the apple. I'm not going to lie. Oh my goodness. I don't know that she wants the apple now. Boy, this apple does not quite look the same inside. It looks kind of sad. It looks bruised. And it doesn't quite look like it's very delicious. You know, the reason why I have Luke working on the toothpaste up there, and the reason why we're doing this apple is because we're going to pretend like this apple is like people. On the outside, looks good. Looking fine, looking happy, looking good. But then, sometimes things happen. They can happen to all of us, where maybe somebody says something to us that does the opposite of bringing us up. It brings us down, and it makes us feel sad. Raise your hand if you've ever had anything sad happen to you before. Good. All hands should be up. This is a legitimate thing. Okay, put your hands down. It's happened to us before, where maybe somebody has said something to us that was the opposite of kind. And yet on the outside we might look fine, but on the inside we're feeling bruised and we're feeling a little sad. And that happens. You know, Jesus loves you. Did you know he loves you? Good. He actually loves every single one of you. He loves me. He loves you. Every single one of us, just the same. And how you feel inside when something sad maybe happens, that makes him feel sad too. He loves us so much that he wants to wrap his arms around us and show us his love. Do you know something happened in my house one time, and this was kind of a aha moment for me. It was like a light bulb on top of my head. I had been working on my Bible studies a lot lately and really growing close to Jesus, but sometimes at home I didn't feel like I was always acting the way I should. And it was one particular day. I have a husband who likes to take coffee to work in the morning in his stainless steel cup. And so a lot of adults do that, right? They put their coffee in their mug, they turn the top on, and off they go to work. And it seemed like every day that my husband brought this coffee mug back home, I was doing dishes. I don't know why. Probably because I'm always doing dishes. Because I have 3 children who like to eat a lot. But anyway, I was doing dishes, and in he came with his coffee mug. And then one day he set it down on the counter, just like he did every day, and I got a grumpy heart. And I was like, every day he puts this down for me to wash this coffee mug. I didn't say anything. I just felt that grumpiness inside of me. Well, the next day came. The grumpiness was still there. And the next day came, and the grumpiness was still there until finally, like the 4th day, I was like, every day you set this down just expecting me to wash it. And I kind of got mad. And he said, I don't expect you to wash that. Well, anyway, I just thought, oh, wait. Number one, I made that own grumpiness myself. Nobody was telling me to do anything. And number two, I'm supposed to be seeing my husband and those around me like they're Jesus. If Jesus came home every day to my house, which I'd be super duper happy that he was walking in the door, wouldn't I be thrilled to wash his coffee mug? You betcha. And so when I treat others, I need to treat them as if they are Jesus. I need to treat them like Jesus always treats me. He always loves me. He always loves you. And so Jesus calls us to be kind to others. Let's look at what Luke's doing back here. Oh, wait, where did Luke go? Luke, you were supposed to be working. Did you finish it? Maybe you did. Let's see. Oh, you did quite well, Luke. However, I see that. Were you able to get it all back in there? A little bit. You did a really good job. Do you know what, Luke? I set you up for disaster, basically. Because you can't put the toothpaste back in, can you? No. And that is kind of like our words. When something comes out of our mouth that wasn't nice, it was kind of mean and wasn't kind, is it hard to take it back in? Right, yeah. You can ask for forgiveness, and that's a good thing, that we can offer forgiveness when somebody says something. But we have to watch what we say. We have to watch that the words don't come out. It's hard to take them back. We want to treat others like as if they're Jesus to us. We want to treat them with that kindness. Think of the words that we say. The song, Speak Life, is kind of about that. Speak Life is about speaking kindness to others and thinking about the good things that you say to them. I always say to my boys, was what you just said something that boosted somebody up, or did it bring them down? And that always makes them think a little. Think about that with your words. Does it bring somebody up, or does it maybe bring them down? We always love that feeling to bring somebody up. That song, Speak Life Again, has some really, really good lyrics, good words. And Toby Mac wrote these words. I want you to put the words up on the screen. The first line, I'm just going to talk about them and just read through them really quick so you can hear what they are. Good. The first words in the song say, some days life feels perfect. Other days, it just ain't working. The good, the bad, the right, the wrong, and everything in between, because we all have good days and we all have bad days. Next one. Yo, it's crazy, amazing. We can turn our heart through the words we say. Mountains crumble with every syllable that we say. Hope can live or die. So we want to speak life. Speak life to the deadest, darkest night. Speak life. Speak life when the sun won't shine and you don't know why, even when you're having a bad day. Look into the eyes of the brokenhearted. Look into the eyes of somebody else. Watch them come alive as you speak hope, you speak love, and you speak life. We'll go on to the next one. It says, some days the tongue gets twisted, like we don't feel like we're talking very well. And other days our thoughts just fall apart. I do, I don't, I will, I won't. It's like I'm drowning in the deep. Well, it's crazy to imagine words from my lips as the heart arms of compassion. Mountains crumble with every syllable. Hope can live or die. So we want to speak life. And then the end of the song says, lift your head a little higher. Spread the love like fire. Hope will fall like rain when you speak life with the words you say. And then raise your thoughts a little higher. Use your words to inspire. Joy will fall like rain when you speak life with the words you say, the things you say, sorry. So I actually found a really awesome video clip of Toby Mac himself on the video saying why he wrote this song. And we're going to play that video here, but right in the beginning of it, just so you know, he talks about a book that he read. And that's where he got the inspiration for writing the song. So at the beginning, he's talking a little bit about the book and the author of the book, the person who wrote the book. But then he goes into why he wrote it. So let's go ahead and watch that video.
Brennan Manning is undoubtedly one of my favorite authors. He wrote a book called The Ragamuffin Gospel, a book called Abba's Child, and he was used, his quote was used at the beginning of on DC Talk's Jesus Freak record on What If I Stumble, when it spoke about what an unbelieving world finds unbelievable. People that speak about God but don't live it. So just he had a quote in a book called Abba's Child that has stuck with me literally for probably 10 years, and I've always wanted to write a song about it. And the quote is that, basically, Toby paraphrased, is that, when anyone we come in contact with, we either offer them life or we drain them. There's no neutral exchange. And I thought, that means that everyone I talk to, I have an opportunity to offer life to. Literally, I can speak life to people. I can have them, my words could be used to turn someone's life around or to encourage them or be compassion, be love. So Speak Life was therefore birthed and hopefully reminds us all that we have an opportunity in every conversation we have.
We have an opportunity in every conversation we have to build somebody up. Will you rise today, and we're going to go ahead and pray. Dear God, we thank you for this opportunity today to come together at chapel. Lord, thank you for this school, this place where we can learn about you, and most importantly, learn how we can share your kindness with others. Lord, be with us as we try this out, as we learn to build each other up, not to tear each other down. And we do that for you, Lord. In your name we pray. Amen. Will you join me in the Lord's Prayer now? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Good. You guys can be seated. And we will go ahead and take offering. Because I love Jesus. I'm giving because he loves me. Thank you. Wonderful. All right, and now we'll end with our blessing. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance on you and give you peace. Amen. We're going to end one more time with that song, Speak Life. And what I want you to do, if you want to, during the part where it says, Speak life, oh, 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 I have a few little hand motions because that just sounds like fun. So whenever it says speak life, will you put your hands up to your mouth, pretending like you're saying awesome building up words to your friends and your family. And when it says, oh, 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 we're going to do a little something where you shake your shoulders. And when you shake your shoulders, it's best when your legs are not like that, and you're just like this, It's like your legs are a little bit apart, and you go, and you even kind of move your hips a little bit. You want to stand up and try it with me? Stand up, ready? I'll say, speak life, wait, that's the wrong part. Speak life, oh, 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 oh. Speak life, oh, 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 oh. Ooh, good. Speak life, oh, 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 oh. Good, you guys are going to get it. Let's go ahead and do this song again. These words are a little bit different than the last one, but you'll be able to read them a little bit better. So I'll do other hand motions too, just because it's fun. Come on.
Some days life feels perfect, other days it just ain't working. The good, the bad, the right, the wrong, and everything in between. Yo, it's crazy, amazing. We can turn our heart through the words we say. Mountains crumble with every syllable. Hope can live or die. So speak life, speak life to the deadest, darkest night. Speak life when the sun won't shine and you don't know why. Look into the eyes of the broken hearted. Watch them come alive as soon as you speak hope. You speak love, you speak. You speak life. Oh, 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 oh. You speak life. Oh, 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 oh. Some days the tongue gets twisted. Other days my thoughts just fall apart. I do, I don't, I will, I won't. It's like I'm drowning in the deep. Well, it's crazy to imagine words from my lips as the arms of compassion. Mountains crumble with every syllable. Hope can live or die. So speak life to the deadest, darkest night. Speak life when the sun won't shine and you don't know why. Look into the eyes of the broken hearted. Watch them come alive as soon as you speak hope. You speak love, you speak. You speak life. Oh, 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 oh. You speak life. Oh, 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 oh. Lift your head a little higher. Spread the love like fire. Hope will fall like rain when you speak life with the words you say. Raise your thoughts a little higher. Use your words to inspire. Joy will fall like rain when you speak life with the things you say. Lift your head a little higher. Spread the love like fire. Hope will fall like rain when you speak life with the words you say. So speak life to the deadest, darkest night. Speak life, when the sun will shine and you don't know why. Look into the eyes of the broken hearted. Watch them come alive as soon as you speak hope. You speak love, you speak life. Oh, 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 oh. 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 Some days life feels perfect.